Welcome back, Olympians, for day 3 of Vacation Bible School Olympics. We're so glad you're here and a part of our team. And so let's get into the huddle and talk about our playbook for today. Today's Olympic value is courage. And it's important to have courage when you're trying new things. And we often need courage to do things that we didn't know we can do or we don't think that we can do. And so courage comes into our baptismal covenant through the idea of proclaiming by word and example the good news of Jesus Christ. And those are some big words, right? So proclaim means just to tell about. So to talk about through our words and to be about through our actions all of the things we do in our life of faith and all of the things that Jesus is telling us to do. And so we need to be the examples of that out in the world. And I think that takes a little bit of courage to do. It's not always easy, but within our faith communities and the support of our friends, we can find the courage to talk about our faith and to be out in the world and be examples and be like Jesus in the world. That takes us to our story of Esther, which is from the whole book of Esther and is found in the Old Testament part of the Bible or the Hebrew scriptures. All right, so remember, you need to guess who our person is today reading our story.
Esther. This story is from the book of Esther, which can be found in the Old Testament or Hebrew scriptures part of the Bible. This is Esther and Mordecai. Mordecai adopted Esther as his daughter after her parents died. They are Jewish. King Ahasuerus rules over the land in Persia where Esther and Mordecai live. He is looking for a wife. Esther goes to meet the king. Mordecai reminds her not to tell anyone that she is Jewish. The king falls in love with Esther. They get married. Esther is now the queen. This is Haman. He is the king's advisor. The king tells everyone that they must respect Haman. People must bow down when Haman is near. Mordecai works at the entrance to the king's house. He likes to keep an eye on Esther. The guards bow down to Haman when he passes through the gate. Mordecai does not. The other guards go to Haman. They tell him that Mordecai is not following the rules. They also tell him that Mordecai is Jewish. Haman gets very angry. He decides to have all the Jewish people in the kingdom killed. Haman goes to the king. There are Jewish people in your kingdom that do not obey your laws. You shouldn't have to put up with them. Give the order and I will have them punished. Do what needs to be done, the king replies. Haman puts out an order to have all the Jewish people killed. The whole kingdom cannot believe what is about to happen. When Mordecai learns about the king's order, he is upset. He cries and yells outside the gate at the king's house. Queen Esther hears that Mordecai is causing trouble outside. She sends one of her servants to talk to him. Mordecai tells the servant what is happening in the kingdom. He asks Esther to go to the king and ask him to save their people. Esther listens to Mordecai's message. She knows that she can help, but she is nervous. No one is allowed to see the king without an invitation, not even the queen. Esther will have to be brave if she is going to save her people. Esther waits outside. She knows the king will pass by. It might be her only chance to speak to him. The king is glad to see her. He says, "Tell me what you want, Esther, and I will give you anything, even half of my kingdom." "Protect my life and the lives of my people," Esther says. "There has been an order to kill all the Jews in the kingdom." The king is angry. "Who gave this order?" "It was Haman," Esther replies. Haman is removed from the king's house. Mordecai is given Haman's job. He is honored by the king for his service to the kingdom. Every year, the Jewish people celebrate the holiday of Purim to remember when Queen Esther saved her people. The end.
All right, Olympians, who do you think the reader of our story was today? That's right. It was Reverend Amelia, who is one of the priests here at St. Stephen's. I hope you enjoyed that story about Esther, and we saw that she had lots of courage. She had to have courage in order to talk to the king and to help her people. And so she needed to be brave, right? Being brave is all part of having courage and doing something that you don't think you can do. Esther wasn't sure if she was going to be able to talk to the king, but she did, and she was able to save all those Jewish people that were her people. And so we need to have courage out in the world, and it's important for us to be brave when we're facing things that we are unsure of. And I also think that our courage comes from being followers of Jesus and being in relationship with God. And so we find courage as people of faith through our love from God and of God. So that is all that we have for today. And I invite you to go and do those events, the art, science, and movement that we have in store for you today, and enjoy that. And I will see you again tomorrow.